So if it was a one-time shift, right, AI is going to dawn. It's going to open all sorts of new opportunities. There's going to be a tremendous amount of disruption. But from that, we'll be able to build a world. Is that world going to be stable, or is it going to be just, one event horizon after the next? If it's the latter, then it effectively says what it does to the humans, which is it's going to dismantle us.
When I look out at society, I go, okay, it's having a negative impact. When I look at individual use cases, it's having a profoundly positive impact, including for me, it's having a very positive impact. So it's one of these things where I wonder, what is it that we need to teach people at school so that they understand the world that we're going into? Because one of the biggest issues that we're having is that we're sending kids to school with this blueprint, this template that they're going to have this long arc career that no longer exists, that essentially we're treating them like learning LLMs. And we're saying, okay, we're going to prompt you. You're going to give us the right answer. You're going to hallucinate it if possible. And, and then we go, okay, now go off into the world. And they go, oh, but wait a second. I don't know how money works. I don't know how society works. I don't know how my brain works. I don't know how I'm meant to handle this novelty problem. I'm not sure how to approach someone in a social situation and ask if they want to go on a date. So all the important things that actually are the important milestones that people want to be able to hit and that technology can actually have an impact on, we get no user manual. So I think one of the biggest things that has to happen is we have to equip young people all through school to actually prepare them for the world that's coming or the world that's here.
Well, on the one hand, I think you outline the problem very well. Effectively, we have a model of what school is supposed to do that, at best was sort of a match for the 50s or something like that. And it woefully misses the mark with respect to preparing people for the world they actually face. If we were going to prepare them, I would argue that the only toolkit worth having at the moment is a highly general toolkit. The capacity to think on your feet and pivot as things change is the only game in town with respect to our ability to prepare you in advance. Maybe the other auxiliary component to that would be teaching you what we know, which is frankly not enough, about how to live a healthy life, right? If we could induce people into the kinds of habits of behavior and consumption of food, and then train them to think on their feet, they might have a chance in the world that's coming. But the fly in the ointment is we don't have the teachers to do it. We don't have people who know, and that is the question, is could the AI actually be utilized in this manner to actually induce the right habits of mind for people to live in that world?
I spend a lot of time in education technology. One thing that is, as we say on the internet, a black pill about education in general, education intervention, is there's a lot of data that shows that there are very little interventions you can make in education to generate better outcomes. And so, there's been a lot of experiment around pedagogy, around, how to configure the classroom that have resulted in very marginal improvements. There's only one intervention, and this has been reproduced many times, that creates 2 sigma, 2 standard deviation positive outcomes in education, meaning you're better than 99% of everyone else. And that is one-on-one tutoring.
I thought so. Yeah, I was going to say smaller classrooms and personalization.
One-on-one tutoring, yeah. And by the way, if you look, someone also did a survey of all the geniuses, the Einsteins of the world, and found that they all had one-on-one tutoring. They all had someone in their lives that took interest in them and tutored them. So what can create one-on-one tutoring opportunity for every child in the world?
AI.
AI.
My kids